I probably worked harder in the last 3 weeks than I've ever worked in my life doing this. We're all victims. Everybody here, all these thousands of people here tonight, they're all victims, every one of you.
New York Times columnist Ross Douthat took an in-depth look at why so many Americans believe Trump's baseless claims that the election was somehow stolen. He writes this: "It's clear that this is about demand as much as supply. A strong belief spurs people to go out in search of evidence. A lot of so-called disinformation is collected and circulated sincerely rather than cynically. And the power of various authorities, Tucker Carlson show or Facebook's algorithm, to change beliefs is relatively limited." Back with us again tonight, veteran writer and Peabody Award-winning radio host Kurt Andersen. His latest work is Evil Geniuses, The Unmaking of America, A Recent History. And Michael Steele, former chairman of the Republican National Committee, former lieutenant governor of the great state of Maryland, now the host of the Michael Steele podcast and a senior advisor for the Lincoln Project. Gentlemen, good evening. And Michael, since I'm going to start with the Republican Party, I'll start with you. Go back as far as, I don't know, Eisenhower, Ev Dirksen, Howard Baker, Ronald Reagan. Can you imagine any of them calling their followers victims? Any of them calling their country a third world country? And I guess my question is, when do you get your party back?
Well, to the first one, it would be unmanly. To the second, it would be unseemly, and it may be gone for a long, long time. When you look at the great stalwarts of the party, the men and women who, laid down the bricks from its founding in the 1850s to the Reagan era, there was a general consensus about things when it came to governing the nation, when it came to dealing with our allies and our enemies, and when it came with how we saw ourselves. The fact that the president has now basically made the claim that Republicans have always made about liberals, that, they're all about creating victims and they're all about victimhoodness. Donald Trump now has embraced that and thrown his arms around it in a way that I think emasculates the Republican Party and certainly dumbs down the narrative, not just around this election and the processes involved, but about the entire idea of how we govern ourselves and what we're willing to accept. If I cannot accept the election results, then I'm somehow a victim, and you need to change the game or change the rules to address my victimhood, to make me feel better. I'm a sore loser. You have to deal with it. It is your responsibility to make me feel better. That's not what Republicanism has ever stood for. And the fact that you have Republicans now embracing that says some very sorrowfully sad things about where the party wants to head.
Hey there, I'm Chris Hayes from MSNBC. Thanks for watching MSNBC on YouTube. If you want to keep up to date with the videos we're putting out, you can click subscribe just below me or click over on this list to see lots of other great videos.